Mm, 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 mm. Okay, testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Huh. I don't know if I can hear myself. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Why can I not hear? Do I need to turn this up? Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing. Yeah, I couldn't hear myself. I hear myself now. Yeah, I couldn't hear myself. I hear myself now. Really? All right, let's get started. Let's get started. All right, welcome in, welcome in. Press the like button. Press the like button, comment, and share. Hi, hello. As you're coming in, press that like button for me. Hey, hey. Do comment and share. Press the like button. Come in, come in, come in, come in. Come in, you all. I'm here again. Hey, hello, hello. How you doing today? I got some good news for you, for those who are out there who need it. If there's some good news here. Hello. Oh, you subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bobby. Thank you. Well, what I'm going to talk to you about is, and um, I hope that you um, stay forward or come back to it. But overall, it has to get out and get pushed out into the atmosphere. We have to spread the gospel. We got to, as children of God, we got to spread the gospel. Um, Thank you for subscribing. So, let me just say this. Let me say this real quick. All men will fear God. All men will fear God. Okay? All men will fear God. And they will declare the works of God. Okay? Thank you for subscribing, Antonio. Hi, John. Hello. Hello. Thank you for subscribing. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I want you to notice that all men, thank you for that like. Thank you. All men will fear and shall declare the works of God. All men will. It don't matter if you're good. It don't matter if you're evil. All men. This is a known thing. All men will fear God, and they will declare His works. They will. They will declare His works, and they will wisely consider of of His doing. They will be wisely in considering His doing, even though they may act like they ain't, like they're not. They will wisely consider His doing, and that's that. Yep. Yeah. 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 So let me say this: that so being high, um, declaring. Now, as you know, when we declare to God, when we declare a thing, that's God's power in it. That's His power. That's part of His power is declaring a thing, declaring His victory with us in it. So when it comes to declaring, that means we're declaring the victory with us in it as we're stepping through and doing His will. Even the ones that are not doing His will, they're still going through a gradual period in their life where they're trying to figure things out, whether he's real or he's not real. Some have come to a halt where they like, well, I'm not going to serve him at all because I know most definitely he's not real because I gave up. I ain't seen nothing. I ain't been through nothing. All I see is the outside and I'm in that and that's all I can see. Some have put themselves into a gradual halt. Oh, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, John. Happy New Year to you. They put themselves at a halt. And over time, this is all they believe. They just believe that this is what it is. This is it. It ain't gonna get no better than this. They haven't seen the things in which it's supposed to be. But again, all men will fear and they will declare the works of God when they see the works being done. When that works get done, meaning when He talks and He talks big to where thunder roars, mountains move, and storms divide. Okay? When He speaks, when He declares, every man will know of His works. Oh, ain't not one person not gonna say, oh, that ain't the works of God. They gonna know that this the works of some. They don't know it's God, but they gonna know this the work of some. And them people in the government, the president, I know the president didn't do that. No, I know the president didn't do that. Come on now. Wait a minute. Maybe they is playing with that weather over there. Maybe they is. So declaring. Let's talk a little bit about declaring as I open you up to His works and what it is that you're going to be considering over time and that you'll know and you're going to eventually believe, especially on that other side when you get there. And you don't want to go on the side where you screaming and yelling from the furnace when He opened it up. You do not want to be there. So, and let me get on in and tell you this, that when we declare a thing, When we declaring something, this means that we are acknowledging. We're acknowledging something, which means that we acknowledge possession. We acknowledge the possession of what was predestined for us. We acknowledge the possession of what was predestined for us. That's his works. His works into existence. When his works goes off into existence, this is what we will notice. All men, unbelievers and believers alike, we all will notice that. We all will acknowledge in that moment the possession of what was predestined for you and me before this earth even existed. Do you understand? Before this earth even existed, it was stuff happening. And he is doing a mighty thing before our very own eyes. And he was doing those mighty things, that mighty work in which he does before this earth even was, which is why when he gets to rumbling it, it gets to breaking some things up. Yes, yes, it breaks some things up. So declaring something acknowledges the possession of what was predestined for you and for me before the earth even existed. And this means a duty was fulfilled. A duty was fulfilled. So this duty um that was fulfilled, the duty you and I was given a part of. The duty you and I was given a part of, it still exists. It still exists. That duty in which, that's what declare is, declaring the works of God and a predestined thing in which we were, in which we are, in which we forgot who we are before this earth even was in existence. Okay? So that duty that we have, even coming out of our mother's womb, we had before the earth even came about. It still exists with us. Some of us forgotten. Some of us won't go to God so we can know what it is. But some of us don't care to know. And that's why we consistently being punished, and all we can see is the problems that we have right before our eyes with that illusion that we have between us and Satan, some of us. And yet this duty still exists even before you and I came. Even before you and I came. Sorry. That duty still exists even before you and I came into our mother's womb. Way before pressure transpired. That duty was. Way before pressure transpired, that duty was. We had a duty. Again, some of you may have forgotten. Some of you don't care to know because you're still looking at your problems when you came out the womb to the family, friends, and associates and people that you go about. And then you go out in the world and you look at that. Some of you still stuck on that. So you haven't gone any further into what you was predestined before the earth even was here. And the earth and the things of it, and your mama and your daddy, and you coming in that womb and you coming out that womb, yeah, they got a destiny for you. But it was something that you was predestined to do, and you had a duty to fulfill as a child of God. You did. You most definitely did. You most definitely did. So you have to declare. Let me tell you some more of this here, okay? In this works of God, as you shall do this works of God. Within this works of God and declaring this work, when it comes down to declaring the works of God, you have to declare your position. You have to declare your position here on the earth as you are here. You have to declare your position here on the earth as you are here, being that declare means that you have taken a position between you and God. So it don't matter if you don't believe in him. He still exists, and your duty is still supposed to be done while you're on this earth. You can't take it back. That's something that you can't take back. That's something you can't take back. So you have to declare in the works of God, declaring that, and in the fear that you take and do, this type of fear of God is different. In that you are on one accord with God. You are lined up with God at that moment. So when it comes to declare, you are declaring your position within your duty here on the earth. You had the duty you have to make it official. Okay? You have to make it official. So the position that you have here on this earth, you have to make it official. It's something that you got to make official. When it comes to declaring a thing, you have to make it official. You got to declare. You got to. And what you are declaring is you are declaring this winner. Listen to this. You are declaring this winner, which is you. That's what you declaring on this earth. You ain't come here to play no games. You ain't come here to be against God. You ain't come here to rob, kill, and steal and destroy. That ain't all you came here to do. You came here to declare this winner, which is you, on this earth. And guess what? It's an emergency. It's an emergency. It's urgent. It's an urgent matter. This is important. You don't think it is? It is. To declare what duties you are supposed to have here on the face of this earth so that nobody else can take that away from you while you're here alongside with God, lining up with him. Because when it comes to declaring, that's who we here with. We are running with the works of God because of the fear that which is God. This type of fear is to declare your wins. And you are the winner who is to declare your wins here on this earth. And it is an emergency. It is an emergency. You dealing with a number, a numerous, should I say? Let me say that again. You're dealing with a numerous types of people here. Do you hear me? Let me tell you this. You dealing with a numerous types of people here. Numerous types. It's so many types of people here. You wouldn't even believe all the stuff that they try to put on you. But you are here to declare your wins. The winner, which is you, when it comes to your God and that works that he have. You are here to declare your wins because of dealing with numerous types of people here on the face of this earth. And you have to declare you being a winner of the 1 in 99 being you. You have to declare a winner. You have to declare being a winner. You have to declare your wins of that 1 in 99. Being that 1 in 99 is going to be you. You got to declare that. That is a victory. That's victory. So consider this. Consider this. What God is saying, what God says, that there shall be all man that's going to consider his doings down here on the face of this earth. Every man, not one, is not going to consider his works that he does on the face of this earth. And what that means to them. That means that so think. That means that we're going to be thinking very carefully what we do. Oh yes. Oh yeah. That means that we're going to be thinking very carefully before making any decisions, before making any move, before making any choice. We're going to carefully consider it. We're going to carefully consider it because we're going to know that all it takes is God saying one word and this earth going to shake. Hola, Devin. Hola. Hola. We know that it's going to take one word that God going to say and it's going to shake this land. So we got to carefully consider our decision making before we even make a move, before we even decide to say something, before we even do what we gonna do, say what we gonna say, feel how we want to feel. We gotta carefully make a decision before we do that. So this is how in Genesis, like this is how it took place in Genesis, where in Genesis how once being put out of the Garden of Eden, God was still giving those people, he was still giving them a chance, okay? He was still giving them a chance. He was giving them a chance. And this was like the womb. This was like the womb. Like he was giving them a chance before being in the Garden of Eden and taking them through that delusional area through the womb into the wilderness. That was like a womb area. Like the womb, like when you on one end, you forget about that end when you go through the womb and you come out birthed from your mother's womb. You forget about that other end. It was another end before you came out your mother's womb. Same thing with the Garden of Eden. You remembered it, but when you got kicked out, it was like you went through a long, drawn out delusion coming through that womb of the earth. And when you got planted on the earth, you forgot. Everything was snatched from you. And even the things about God, the things about your duty, the things about what you're supposed to do here, all that stuff was taken from you because of what you was doing. That's just like the womb. So, but as you remember, when God kept seeing them people, kept seeing them in Genesis, when he kept seeing them doing what they did and how they was doing it, like every time a woman was birthed, those men kept on choosing to take that woman. Just take her. They kept taking her. They kept doing all kind of choices in which God wasn't okaying. He wasn't okaying those things. He told them how I won't be with flesh for long. Those are his exact words in Genesis. He said, I won't be with flesh for long. Why you think he said that? He said that because they were making mistakes as they came from the Garden of Eden, which that's just like coming through the womb, and they went through that long delusion of that earth, which is still the womb, just like the imitation of the womb, and they went on the earth on the whole new land, and it was the wilderness. And when they went through the wilderness, they forgot their duties and what they were supposed to do. They just start going and grabbing lust. So if they seen a woman, if a man seen a woman, that's mine. Oh no, that's mine. No, 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 that's mine. And this is how they do it today. They don't get no consent from God. They don't consider God's work. They just say, no, that's mine. No, 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 no. That's mine. I'm getting that. Ain't nobody else getting that. That's mine. They don't care. So due to the choices they was making, do you remember what happened due to the choices that they was making? Do you remember? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Due to the choices that they was making, they was still in the spirit, right? They was still in the spirit when they came from the Garden of Eden through that long delusion, which was considered the womb, because it's just like the womb. Coming out of the womb, you go through that long canal, and then you come be pushed out. So that's the same thing as when you were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. You come through that long delusion, and now you're on the other side of on the earth, and you don't even know your duties no more. Now just you see something, excuse me, you see something, it's mine. Whatever you see is mine. But that's not really how it's supposed to do. You had a duty to take care of. You had a duty. But them choices that they make, that they start making, they was still in the spirit, mind you. They were still in the spirit, living thousands of years. They was living thousands of years. But when God saw they fleshly moves of choosings without him in it, they then was shortened years. They was shortened of their years, which means now their years was into the hundreds. They went from years in 1,000 being under the Spirit of God, still on the earth, even when they was coming through that womb of that illusion onto the other side and planted on the earth. They still was living thousands of years, thousands of years. But then the choices that they was making, that very choices that they was making because they forgot their duties as they went into the wilderness, they forgot their duties. They supposed to been doing an upkeep of this land, but they forgot their duties, so that shortened their lives, their lifespan. Now they're only living hundreds of years. Less than that. Probably a little bit more over than that. Let's say 120 according to the Bible. 120 at the most is what they started living compared to living thousands of years at first. All because they wasn't declaring the winds in which they was already given. They wasn't declaring it. They was choosing to do things that was making bad decisions. And so now they were suffering the consequences of their bad decisions. And yet they still in the effects of what their forefathers did and that what their forefathers passed on. And they still talking about what their forefathers did as though God was okay with that. But yet you don't understand that. You got shortened of some stuff. And it's people that's talking about some, we are no longer living in the spirit anymore. We are living in the flesh. What are you talking about? We are no longer living in the spirit anymore. And they sound so wise to themselves. Just like them three wise men that was working for an evil man over. And then guess what? The angels took over their spot. The angel in the book. You got to read the book. I'm telling you, it is good. The angels took over their spot. But only thing is, this is real. In this book, it gets real. Compared to them three wise men working for that evil man, them angels came and took over them three wise men's spot. Because they wasn't doing well. They was trying to put a killing to someone that ain't have no business trying to put a killing to, which was Jesus. Come on now. They was consistently making so-called wise choices that cost them their lives. That wasn't great. That wasn't great at all. And so now the people who keep talking about we are no longer in our spirit anymore. I heard this on somebody's stuff. And I already know who they was. I'm not going to say who they was. But this is them preaching out on the streets. Telling people we are no. It says in the Bible. It says in the Bible we're no longer in the spirit. We are in the flesh. Do you really know what you're talking about? Read the whole thing before you say what you're saying, because that is not good wisdom. That's not it. That's not what it's saying. It's saying that when the people made the wrong choices, when God put them out of the Garden of Eden into the wilderness, people just start making all kinds of choices on their own. Before, remember, Adam asked God for a mate. He didn't just say, "Oh, I'm finna get this mate, that's mine." He didn't say, "Oh, I'm finna get her and her and her, and I'm finna get me a bunch of women." Adam didn't say that. Adam asked God. If he had a communication level of relationship with God and told God as he was looking at what was so beautiful in the land, he said, "Man, I want something like that." And God heard him, and God gave him that. But when they got off into the wilderness, the more and more they became dealing in their flesh. And so God said that the choices y'all making, I will no longer be with flesh anymore. I will no longer be with flesh because of the choices that y'all was making. It was fleshly. So he was saying that he will no longer be with flesh because y'all was not making choices in the spirit no more. So he was mainly saying that he can't be with y'all in this type of demeanor. You're in the He was mainly telling you that you're in the flesh. That's not where I want you to be. You're supposed to be in the spirit. This is why you were still living to thousands of years. But being that you're making these choices in the flesh, I no longer can be with flesh. He called it, he's saying, he's calling it out. He's saying, flesh, this is not spirit. He kept saying, flesh, this is flesh. And I can no longer be with this type of stuff in the flesh because you're no longer doing it the way that when Adam did it in the flesh, when he wanted that woman, he became flesh, right? Because before he was flesh, he was soul. Adam was soul before he even was flesh. But then he wanted a woman. And then that's when Adam became flesh. Both Eve and Adam became one flesh. I need some of y'all to read that Bible correctly. That's when they became one flesh. And God knew that this was good because the way they was doing it. But when that certain situation happened and then they got kicked out in the other land, which is the wilderness, now they acting like they can't say, "God, what do you want me to do? What is it that you want from me next? What's my duty?" And the heart being drawn to God. No, the heart was drawn to the lust. And they was getting off into just grabbing and taking. That's the history of my ancestors. That's the history of your ancestors. Grabbing and taking. Now God's saying, "No, I can't be with flesh no more." That's him saying, "I can't be with flesh no more. Not anymore." Because look at the choices that flesh is making now. This is not the choices that flesh was making when before it was soul, and then I made bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh. Then it became flesh. And it was good because I made it. This is no longer that anymore. This not that no more. This is something else now. Flesh, let me tell you something. I can no longer be with you. So now you're going to be shortened of your years, of 120 years. This is not saying what some of the people is saying because I guess they reading it, but I'm telling you the truth. This is what this is saying. This is saying that I cannot be with flesh anymore. Now I'm going to give you 120 years instead of at first when you was with my spirit. When you was with my spirit, because you utilized it, you built the relationship with me, you came to me and you asked me things. You was living thousands of years. So with my spirit, you was living thousands of years. But without my spirit, you was not. You only could live at 120 years. That's not saying, oh, we are no longer spirit now. We are flesh. So you just gonna take what it said literally and then go from that point to this point. You're gonna just take what it said literally and politically and tell it like that. Oh well, it says that. Oh, this is on the deadline. The right on the bottom line, it says, as we argue with one another, uh, in a battle, of the Bibles, we're going to battle each other on the battle of the Bible, and it says this, that we was once spirit, but we are no longer spirit. On the dotted line, political workers, we was once spirit, but now we are flesh. Literally, for some of you taking it that way. No, there's some space in between that you're not reading. It said that you screwed up. We're not going to forget that. It said that our forefathers screwed up. They was making choices of their own. They decided what woman they wanted to pick. They was not going to God and saying, God, let's build this relationship together so that we can know what we supposed to do. Lord, they was not doing it anymore. So God, just like a father, said, I don't want to be a part of this no more. Because this is why God say that he don't care between good and evil. He don't care about that. Because when they got out of that into the wilderness, he still was with them, even though they was with flesh. Both that man and woman made it a flesh. It was just a soul with just one person. But then now it's flesh, meaning now it's in the world, but it's still not of the world though. It's in the world now. And now these people, our forefathers, decided they was just going to pick and choose who they wanted to marry, who they wanted to be with, who they wanted to enter into. And we sitting up here worshiping our forefathers and what they did when they did wrong. They ain't do right by us. God is wanting to pick the one out of the 99. The one out of the 99. So that he can bring us back to Eden. And you know what bringing us back to Eden means? Bringing us back to life in the spirit. Not we no longer spirit, we flesh. Because I'm taking the Bible literally, which means I'm a political worker of iniquity that my forefathers did right in front of my face as I'm reading the Bible. That's not what that was. Go back and read it again. But I'm telling those out there that don't know, this is what it is. We are still spirit, and God wants us to stop walking in the flesh. You understand? Like he doesn't want us to walk in the flesh, although we're in the flesh. Like he did when he kicked us out of Eden. Although we was walking in the flesh, he didn't want us to do the things that we was doing in the flesh, although he was walking in it. So being in something and being of something is different. And that's where we messed up at. That's where we messed up at. Being in the flesh, fine. But being of it was when it was a problem because we was delusional. And we was making delusional decisions. We was making delusional choices that was not agreeing with God. And he said he cannot be with flesh no more. And yes, he was with flesh because flesh was making good decisions at first until they started making wrong decisions. He was with flesh because he made Adam and Eve, which was putting it into the flesh. It had to be in the flesh now because now them two gonna be doing fleshly stuff. So now that one soul turned into flesh because now those two gonna be doing fleshly things. And those fleshly things has to be in proper order unto God though. But then it messed up. And we was shorting our lives on down the road. So I'll say, thanks, forefathers, for shortening my life. That's what everybody say. Thank you, forefathers. Let's give thanks to our forefathers for shortening our lives. Even though beforehand they was living thousands of years. And here it is, we only can live up to 120. Now that's crazy. That's crazy to agree with something like that. Come on now, y'all. Wake up. Wake up, please. I'm going to say this one thing and then I'm going to read a Bible verse before I go. And that is, all men will fear and shall declare the works of God, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. Meaning you are going to declare these things, meaning you're going to make public. This is going to be a public advised statements that you're going to make. Meaning you're going to publicly make known your predestination out on this earth by walking it out on this earth of trouble. Because you was predestined to do just that. That long suffering of trouble that came from that long distance of the womb that we had to travel, that put a delusion on us just like the earth when we went on it and we forgot the way in which we came. Now God gonna want us to come back. He want us back. So let me read to you Psalm 62. Psalm 62. And then I'm out of here. Psalms. Proverbs. Okay. Psalm 62. Oh, I do still got some of my pages folded. Okay, Psalm 62, 1 through 22. I'm just going to read it. But you go Bible study, okay? You go in Bible study, but I'm just going to read it to you and what it says. It says, truly my soul wait upon God. You listening to this? Truly my soul wait upon God. My soul. Before the flesh, meaning before the connection with other people, my soul was one with God. Meaning it was a soul before it was a connection with other people. My soul was one. I was one. with God. Get it? Do you get what I'm saying? Hope you do. Truly my soul waited upon God. From him come my salvation. He only is my rock in my salvation. He is my what is it? My defense. I'm sorry. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved. That's what soul means. Soul was one before it became flesh. It became flesh because of the interaction with another person. But it was soul by itself when it was one by itself. You understand that? So he's saying to you, he's in number 2, verse 2, he said, only is my rock. I'm sorry. We're going to go to 12. I'm sorry, not 22, but 62, 1 to 12. Let me read it again. Truly my soul wait upon God, the one, before it became flesh, interacting with other people, right? Because that's what I just told you. Adam was one soul when he was by himself. It didn't become flesh until it interacted with Eve, the other person. And God still was with him in that flesh between them two. But it is known as the flesh, but it still carried over it the spirit of God. It still was under the spirit of God. So it still was spirit. And from him cometh my salvation, God. Number 2, he only is my rock and my salvation. Him only. He is my defense, and I shall not be greatly moved. How long will ye imagine mischief? Know what I told you when they went out of the land and they started doing different things, just taking? How long will ye imagine, which is the illusion in which they got once they went through the earth, went to the earth, which is that womb out on the other side and came out birthed flesh, but still had the spirit of God over them. But then they messed up making choices against God because they wasn't asking God. They were just doing whatever they wanted to do. How long will ye imagine mischief against a man? How long? Ye shall be slain, all of you. You ain't gonna have no God, because he don't want to be in the middle of that. He gonna still be placing judgment. And it's gonna be so many people punished that's not gonna understand what's going on. As a bowing wall shall ye be, and as a tottering fence. Number 4, they only consult to cast him down. They only consult with each other, flesh to flesh. Talking about flesh to flesh. They only consult with each other to cast God down from his excellency. They delight in lies, and they bless with their mouth. But they curse inwardly. Salah. Number 5 says, my soul, which is one, when you with yourself, one, your soul. My soul wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense, and I shall not be moved. Number 7, and God is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength. He's what give you strength. And my refuge. He will hide you from the wicked. And my refuge is in God. 8, trust in him at all times, ye people. Pour out your heart before him, which is what I was telling you about the heart. pour out your heart, meaning build the relationship between you and God. When you are amongst yourself, that means soul with God. One. When you one by yourself without being connected to other people, meaning becoming fleshly and doing fleshly things, wait before you do that. As you are coming into flesh, because flesh gonna build up when you get around people, of course. But wait, trust surely, trust in him at all times. Ye people, pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. Soleil, he will stop you from doing what you're doing. He will he will he will do the duty in which told he is to do. God will do the duty. He will take care of the children of God. He will take care of you. There's no need to do anything else but build the relationship with God. That's heart. That's heart. Building a relationship with God is considered giving him your heart. Talking to him as though he's your father. Not missing or skipping a beat. Doing that over and over again. In number 9 of Psalm 62, verse 9, it says, surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. Because you hardy, you prideful, your ego is going. Yeah, you a lie. Because you're going out there by yourself. In low degree is meaning that, oh, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in what you believe. Oh, we finna fight over the Bible amongst each other. That's of low degree because you and I don't want to read that Bible. That's a white man Bible. Low degree, you vanity. Because you don't even believe there is a God. And then it says in number 9, to be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. Still all vanity. And yet they think they're doing something good. Number 10, trust not in oppression, because that's what this is. The delusion that you building amongst yourself is oppression. Don't trust in this delusion in which you are in, that you are believing for, as you are blaming each other, as you are faulting each other. Mm-mm. No, don't trust in that oppression, that delusion. It said, do not trust in that oppression and become not vain in your robbery. I just said that. How you think it's okay to just take, meaning to rob, to kill, to steal for that person, right? That woman or that man. Oh no, that's mine. I'm taking that. No. Trust not in oppression, number 10, and become not vain in your robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them in all of this that you're doing, that which is flesh. Don't. If riches increase in this now, set not your heart upon them. Go to God. Your heart needs your heart. I want you to think of heart as the word relationship. Your relationship is with God, which is saying your heart is with God, nobody else. Number 11 says, God has spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongeth to God. And then number 12, also unto thee, O Lord, belong mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work. according to his work. And, and what I was telling you, that all men shall fear and shall declare the works of God. But when man is operating out of something else, you're going to get your works desire. You're going to get your works desire because God, it ain't your heart, meaning that relationship, your heart. When you think of heart, think of relationship. Your heart, your relationship with God is not pure, it's not innocent because you didn't build that with Him. You build it amongst yourselves and with others and called it what it was. You made the choice to do that. That was yours. So that's that I wanted to say to you today. Hope you take that and understand what I'm saying. Might not come back on today. This might be my last one. Stayed a little long, too long. But I wanted you to get this today. I want you to understand that. And please like, comment, and share. And turn on your notification bell so you can get more of this broadcasting. And this is some therapy for you out there that's too literal, which is making you very political in what you're reading. And you need to study. Study a little more. All right? Because you was predestined for the wealth, which is what God has for you. That's God. So stay blessed, and stay tuned for more. Bye for now. Salute, soldiers.